say inflation will fade later this year. Come on in, Senator John Barrasso, Republican from Wyoming.
Wyoming.
I almost got it wrong. You'd never appear on the show again if I got it wrong, but we're glad you're here, Mr. Senator. Now, forgive me for offering an opinion. I don't think inflation fades. I think there's just so much money that's being chucked into this economy that will keep prices rising. You agree with that?
I agree with you completely. Look, we cannot use our U.S. economy as a crash test dummy for the plans that the Democrats have. It is a reckless tax and spending plan, but boy, they're putting their foot on the gas and heading over the cliff like Thelma and Louise. This would be the largest spending bill of all times, which is what the president is trying to sell today. We know that it's going to add to our debt, add to inflation. It's going to increase taxes for sure, but the inflation is what is eating into people's paychecks, whether that's for food and groceries, whether it's gas, and you just gave the gas prices in California over $4 a gallon. It's $3.39 in Wyoming this past weekend. So gas prices are up, housing prices are up, and they're trying to add another $4 trillion on top of the $6 trillion we've already spent, Stuart, as part of the recovery from coronavirus. Look, this is going to drive a stake into the recovering economy. Everybody's going to end up paying one way or the other more taxes, and certainly with inflation.
I must turn to a different subject for a moment because I know that you're a doctor. Mr. Senator, how do you feel about the CDC's mask recommendation, even for those who've been vaccinated?
Yeah, I oppose what they're recommending, Stuart. Look, the real problem right now is our porous southern border. People are coming over at a rate of almost 2 million for the year. They're not tested. They're not vaccinated. That is the biggest influx of coronavirus and variations of that into the country. If the president is to have any credibility, and to me he has none at this point, he needs to absolutely make sure he first deals with the southern border and the diseases coming across.
It is amazing that we have this crisis on our southern border. And you're right, Mr. Senator, we do have people streaming across who are COVID positive, and we're distributing them around the country. And yet you hear nothing about it. It seems to be just covered up as a major crisis that we're facing. We don't face it. We don't talk about it. Can you do something about that?
Well, we had about 18 of us head to the border. We got a lot of press while we were there. But the reason that President Biden doesn't want to go there, or Vice President Harris, they don't want to go to the key point where people are streaming across, is because they know television cameras will follow them there, and it will bring more attention to this crisis. It's a humanitarian crisis. It's a medical crisis. It's a national security crisis. And the Democrats keep saying, no, come here. Look, Stuart, we're talking about this big spending bill. Do you know that hidden in there is amnesty for illegal immigrants?
Yep.
There are lots of things jammed into this $3.5 trillion monstrosity that have nothing to do with the budget. Amnesty for illegal immigrants. They have this so-called Citizens Climate Corps, where they're going to pay people to go out and protest things like the Keystone XL pipeline. Look, what this party, what the president and the Democrats with Pelosi and Schumer are doing to this country is bad.
Mr. Senator John Barrasso from the great state of Wyoming, thank you very much for joining us, sir. We appreciate it, and we hope to see you again. Thanks, sir.
Thanks, Stuart.